He did not have not even 2 months worth of payment saved up to pay for that big old fancy thing. So he got a late payment. It dropped his credit score over 100 points overnight. Literally overnight, 100 points gone. And it was just heartbreaking, you know? And mind you, you're not going to get a late payment because you paid your account 1 day late. Okay. A lot of people have a heart attack, like, oh my God, I forgot. No, they're going to give you time. Okay. You actually don't get a late payment until the payment is past 30 days, right? You're going to get a late fee, and that's going to be a hefty fee, and you're going to need to pay that in order to become current plus the minimum, right? But you're not going to get a late payment. So that's the good thing. You're not going to get a late payment until it's 30 days past the due date. All right. So that's why it's so important to make sure auto pay is set up. You talk to this about your clients, because once someone starts getting late payments, it's like, well, can I even really help this person? Because if they can't even pay their bills on time, they don't need to be paying me. That's how I look at it, right? And that's how I like to talk to people before they sign up for my credit repair, because there are a lot of cases where I'm like, I don't think I can help you. Like, there's nothing that I can do. You need to take your money. You need to just pay your debt, or you need to, just wait until everything has just, had some time. Because when you're in active charge off mode, it's like, it's tough. They're just going to come back verified because you've been paying those accounts for months, with your own bank account. So it's hard. But say, for example, you do get a late payment, which I've actually got one because I had two secured credit cards with First Progress. And if you guys have had First Progress or know anything about them, they are the devil to pay, or at least they used to. I don't know about anymore. But they are so hard to pay, and they applied one of my payments to the wrong account. So I got a late payment on the account that they were supposed to apply the payment to. So I actually had to write a goodwill adjustment letter. I faxed it into them and I mailed it into them with just, the full account number, a brief explanation of what happened, and asked them to provide a goodwill adjustment and to update the credit account to paid as agreed. That's the magic sauce right there. Update to paid as agreed. A goodwill adjustment letter is just a request to have the creditor update the late payment to paid as agreed. All right. And if you're not having success through, just normal communication, you can step it up a notch, and you can find CEO email addresses or contacts information. I like LinkedIn because you can find all of your high level executives on LinkedIn. You can also use ceoemail.com. You can use elliott.org. And the links are going to be in this presentation. So you guys can seek email addresses for high level executives, or you could just do a simple Google search. For example, if I go to Google right now and I say, for example, have a late payment with Capital One, I'm just going to type in Capital One CEO email address. And there it is right there, because Google has AI. So it scrapes the internet and it gives you the information that you need. There is his email address right here. Now, I'm sure it doesn't go to him, but here's another one right here. So, and this was only 10 months ago. So I would actually go with this one because it's directly to his name versus contact. That's going to go to like his assistant, which eventually will get to him. But just do a Google search and do your research and see what you can find to contact that person. You're going to know pretty quick if your email did not go through. But yeah, just do your research and request it, and don't give up, because it doesn't do you any good disputing late payments directly with the credit bureaus, especially on an open account. Now, if you have a late payment on an open account, it is like handle with care, okay? Because I don't know if I've shared this with you guys or not, but I'm going to be the first, maybe it's the first time, but I've made some mistakes in my career. Okay. And I've gotten some people's accounts closed, and it was embarrassing, but shit, it was a learning process for me because I was disputing late payments on open credit card accounts. I was disputing a late payment on an open Macy's account. Do you guys know how strict Macy's is when it comes to just disputing anything with them? They will close your account so quick. They don't read. They just simply like go straight to like hibachiing your account, which is crazy because you would think they would read the letter, but they didn't, right? Or they would read the dispute from the credit bureau, but they didn't. They just closed the account without even contacting the customer. Super frustrating because it was open for 15 years. But that's why you want to handle with care when you are disputing late payments on open credit accounts. And it's best to deal directly with the bank. If the client has to go in to speak with someone at the bank, they need to do that. If it's a local bank, if they have a relationship with someone at that bank, they need to go in and deal with it, right? If the bank for some reason freezes an account, I had, spoke with someone in my past and they said that, they had disputed a late payment for somebody and the bank, basically put like a freeze on the credit card so the client could not use it. And I said, you need to send the client to the bank immediately to go in there, verify his identity, and unfreeze his account. And sure enough, that's what needed to happen because sometimes they just have a hard time, verifying that it's you, making sure everything's okay. A lot of times the information doesn't get transcribed correctly to the bank from the credit bureaus because, again, they're just sending a ping saying, hey, this person disputed this. They might not even understand why you disputed it, right? So it's really important for you guys to handle late payments with care. Now, if they're on a closed account, who cares, right? We're better off just getting that whole account off of the credit report anyway. So we're going to dispute that closed account like we would any other negative account, trying to get the whole thing deleted. But when it's on an open account, like, credit card or anything, you have to deal with the creditor, try to get them to help you. And sometimes it just simply doesn't work. So it's just a matter of time. A lot of times, if you just have one off, late payment, they'll correct it. But if you have a track record, you've been late multiple times over the last few years, they're not, most of the time, they're not going to provide a goodwill adjustment, right? But you just have to change your habits, set up auto pay, make sure you're budgeting accordingly, and get those payments on track. Because once you know about it, okay, you know about it. You can't keep repeating it. That's the definition of insanity. Okay. You have to make sure auto pay is set up for all the credit accounts that report to your credit reports. Collections from a third party. So there's two different types of collections. There's collections from a third party and there's collections from the original creditor. Now, third party collections, I rarely tell anyone to pay it unless it's for like something small and they're just going to pay me more, right? I would say just pay it, right? If it's like an old cell phone bill that's like $100, I'm like, just go and pay it. They'll take it off, right?